Hello, Graham from ArionGames here, and today I'm going to be talking about the fourth and final character in the upcoming Advanced Fighting Fantasy campaign that we're going to record for actual play sessions. So this fourth character, who's going to be in the campaign, the map there you will have seen before, is the Black Elf Wizard, Azik-Quill-Zillik. So that's the one on the far left, but you probably already know that. Anyway, so this is a black elf, and black elves in Fighting Fantasy on Titan are a bit of a strange one. They're not dark elves, so they're not evil, but they're somewhat tainted. So in their history, when the black elves split away from the elves, as you get in many fantasy games, the black elves went with the dark elves to begin with, and then changed their mind and then sort of split away. So they're regarded as the enemy by the dark elves, and they're not entirely trusted by anyone else either. But they are fairly common on Titan. They're fairly commonly found in a whole load of places, cities, and they're quite common to find in caravans traversing the deserts. And in fact, that's where Azik's background comes from. So he was prodigiously talented with magic at a young age, and he mastered minor magic, cantrips and so on, by the age of 11, which is very early even for an elf. But his parents, it appears, were murdered as part of a raid by chaos creatures out of the wastes of chaos to the north. Right, let me just put him up on his own there. There we go. So his parents were murdered, and he was found as a baby, an oasis, by a human caravan who got to the oasis sometime after the raid, or a short time after the raid, and they rescued him and they took him to the city of Kish, and he was sold as a slave, and there is still some slavery goes on in the southern part of Kull. So he was sold as a slave, and he was bought by a wizard of Kish who sensed the power that lay within him, and he taught him minor magic, which he mastered early, as I mentioned, and since then he's mastered pretty much all the basic spells without too many problems. And he's got this innate power, and technically he is still a slave of his master. However, most sort of wizards especially don't really regard slavery as a serious thing, and his master bought him more to get him out of slavery than to keep him as a slave. Hence why he now lives in the old palace, in one of the rooms of the old palace in Kish, on the same courtyard as the other three members of the group. So he is very much the assiduous student. He focuses on the magic, he works towards the magic, unlike the sorcerer who I discussed in an earlier video, who is not really that focused on the magic. He would far more prefer to fight people with swords and stuff like that. He focused on other things during his apprenticeship. But Azik-Quill-Zillik is very much focused on the magic. That's everything, that's all there is. And his goal is to find out one day who he is, who his father is, where he's come from, what his father and mother did in the caravan that was attacked, etc. And he also regards his master not exactly as a father, but certainly as a saviour. He took him out of a life that could have been spent scrubbing floors and being a servant, being a slave, and his master took him out of that and gave him the tuition in magic that allowed him to fulfill his potential. So we've got our four characters, and very soon we are going to be recording an online session, webcam session, And then hopefully, with all being well, we are intending in the very near future to record an in-person session of Advanced Fighting Fantasy with these characters and put it as a series of videos on here. So keep an eye on this channel. If you're not already a subscriber, subscribe to get all the latest news and information. And hopefully very, very soon you will see these 4 characters in action, and we'll find out just what it is they can do. And hopefully they will go on to become great heroes. Although the life of an adventurer, the life of a hero in Titan is hard, and it is often short. So until next time, good gaming.